there, YouTubers! Professor Sheep here. Welcome to another meteorology video. Now, typically I would appear in front of you, probably inside at my dining room table or at my cousin's house in their basement in front of the whiteboard. And today's meteorology video is about clouds. Now, you're probably wondering, like I said, I'm outside today at my own house. I have a beautiful green, almost black background, and I don't know if you'll hear it, but there is some thunder, because it is going to rain today. But today's video is a astronomy video on clouds. So, let's begin, shall we? There are three types of clouds: low level, mid level, and high level. We'll start with the ones we're most familiar with, which are low level. Now, low level clouds happen from 6,500 feet or lower. Now, there are three types of clouds. There are actually four types of low-level clouds, but I'm only focused on three of them. The first one are cumulus clouds. Cumulus clouds are like big white cotton balls that form in the sky. They often see on a pretty nice day. Now, I was going to plan on having like videos of each one of these, but apparently weather lately is going to be very hot, which means it's been very clear here, so not a lot of clouds, unless it's today, of course. So here's a picture of a cumulus cloud. Alright, you guys, I was just going to show you a picture of some cumulus clouds. But luckily, the day after I filmed, lo and behold, we have a whole sky filled with cumulus clouds, as you can see. Now, I'm sure not all of these are actually cumulus clouds. I'm sure a few are a little different. But most of these that you can see are cumulus clouds. Alright, the next cloud are stratus clouds. These are fog and typically make a very gloomy day. And these really like to hang low, very close to the ground. So, here's a picture of a stratus cloud. The next is probably the one we're almost the most familiar with, and probably the one we're most scared of, are cumulonimbus clouds. Cumulonimbus clouds, as I think I've talked about before on this channel in one of my other meteorology videos, they form an anvil. Now, these form because of updrafts in the atmosphere, and these warm currents of air rush up, so they push the tops of the clouds up, and they eventually hit a height where they just level off like a table. And these almost always mean thunderstorms. And so it's going to have some intense weather, and you probably should go inside, but more than likely you should probably go inside because it's going to be a very intense thunderstorm. So, here's a picture, actually here's a video of some cumulonimbus clouds that I took myself. Right there, that's a cumulonimbus cloud. Now, it's hard to tell because it's dark, but as you can see the lightning, obviously, but you can see how this cloud kind of comes up, and it kind of has makes a top on itself that makes that anvil shape. There were a lot better examples earlier, but this one looked pretty cool because, as you can see, the sun is setting. There's a star up. Well, probably not a star. It's probably Venus, but there's one celestial body up, and then if we turn over here, boom, the moon's up. See that little, see that? Look at that lens flare following my camera like that. It goes over the moon. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Anyways, so if we go look back over here at these clouds, you can see the lightning, and it's a cumulonimbus cloud. Alright, now there's another type of cumulus. There is another type of low-level clouds, but they're really not too important. So let's move on to mid-level clouds. Why, hello there. I don't have my fun fact book or my fun fact chair, but doesn't mean I can't give you a fun fact. So what is today's fun fact? Well, clouds appear to float, but in reality, they don't actually float. They're actually falling just very, very slowly. Now, clouds are made up of small little water crystals or water droplets. These are typically on the size of a few microns in length, and they're super spread out. And so, since gravity is proportional to the mass and the radius of the object, the rate at which these objects need to fall through the atmosphere, they're quite slow. And so these clouds can appear to just float, when in reality, they're just falling very, very, very slowly. And as the radius and the mass of these droplets increase, the faster at which they fall. Eventually they get so big and so heavy that they fall at a rate that produces rain or snow. Isn't that just fascinating? Alright, now it's time for mid-level clouds, which are from 6,500 feet to 23,000 feet. Now, there are three types of these. Now, here's a play off with the ones we just talked about, which are mostly cumulus clouds. These are alto-cumulus clouds. Altostratus Clouds. Alto-cumulus clouds are quite high for the mid-level clouds, but they're not quite as high as Cirrus Clouds. They kind of look like little lines of white little puffy clouds, and they're kind of wavy, and they have some layers of gray and white to them. They don't often mean rain, however. So here's a picture of them. Next, we're on Altostratus Clouds. Altostratus Clouds don't often block out the sun, but do cover the entire sky. Here's a picture of one. Next, we're on Nimbostratus Clouds. Nimbostratus Clouds do often block out the sun, and are usually signify that there's going to be some heavier rain as compared to the one before. And which means it's probably going to rain or snow all day. Here's a picture of one. Now that one, yes, did look basically like a gray day. I mean, it's kind of what they are, those last two. But let's move on to high-level clouds. Now, high-level clouds, apparently to the sheet I looked at, are from 16,500 feet to 45,000 feet. Now, as to why they told me mid-level clouds are also in that range, I have no idea. But one of the types is Cirrus Clouds. Cirrus Clouds are just thin, wispy ones that are really, really high up in the atmosphere. You know, upwards of that 45,000 feet. And since they're so high up, they're not going to have a lot of water in them. So a lot of ice crystals. And so the high winds up in the upper atmosphere are going to spread these crystals out, and they're going to be long, thin strands, and they're going to be wavy, and as they're being manipulated by these high winds in the upper atmosphere. So these are typically seen on winter days, and it usually means it's cooler outside since they're forming up so high up in the atmosphere, which is why I had to change for just pictures instead of videos of everything, sadly. So here's a picture of a cirrus cloud. Our next cloud is Cirrus Clouds. These again are very high up in the atmosphere, and they're very thin and wispy. And they typically cover almost the entire sky, and you can see the sun kind of through them, but they kind of just make a thin wisp all across the cloud, kind of making a veil, if you will. And if the sun is low on the horizon, they can make many different colors. They're quite pretty. Here's a picture of some now. And then that's all that I care to tell you about for high-level clouds. Now, there are other types of clouds I could continue to talk about, but clouds are clouds, okay? And what we all really care about when it comes to clouds is how clouds form and what they are. But you know what? That's more of a fun fact than it is to when talking just about clouds. Maybe this video shouldn't just be clouds. Maybe it should be cloud types. Yeah. It's going to be cloud types. So in conclusion, today we talked about 3 different types of clouds: low level, mid level, to high level. Now there are sources and the links in the description below, so please go check those out if you want any more information or want to know about the other forms of clouds. And to be honest, if you just go into Google and type in types of clouds, Google actually types in a whole row of pictures with names to each cloud. Now I'm assuming if you click on one of those, it'll take you either A, to the image, or B, to a site that'll help explain it. Honestly, I haven't clicked on that. I'll probably do it when I go to look up the images for this video. But in the meantime, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and share. New videos every Friday, 4:30 p.m. Central Time, and good night.
Oh, you're still here? Well, if you want to see more, check the playlist. And while you're there, please consider subscribing. Now, Marvel for 20 seconds.